word
This
here is
conference will now be
engineering
recorded.
and industrial. All right. So what does it mean to manage an industrial company? I have prepared a simplistic, let's say, picture for that. And here it is. Okay, now, of course, you may say, all right, this is simplistic. What is the complex one? All right. But okay, let's look at it. I guess that most of you have a quantitative engineering background, as myself. All right. So practically starting, let's say, from your undergraduate degree, in essence, in this context of an industrial company, you are somewhere here in the bottom. You see here, you see this engineer holding a gear, working on a machine, possibly designing the machine or designing a product, but the engineer is right here, okay? So this engineer has a very nice idea. He knows how to program very well. He knows how to develop code. He knows how his machines work. If he's a mechanical engineer, for instance, knows everything about gas turbines and thermodynamics and everything. If he's a chemical engineer, knows the best out of all the chemical process and so on. So he's over there working in the production, right? But what happens in the rest of the world? So in the rest of the world, what happens is this. There are customers. You are customers at times, all right? So you go to a shop and you want to buy a product. And practically, you don't see anything of the rest of the company. You just go to the shop, you look at the products, you find a nice desk, for instance, and you place an order. Why? Because the desk's characteristics fit your interest, because you like the features. So you put the order and you expect this item to be delivered to you along with the bill, and then you pay. And that's where the customer's interaction ends. But how this sales order is fulfilled. So this desk will go to the customer if the desk exists indeed in a warehouse. Here, this is the warehouse of the finished products. In order for this warehouse to be filled, the production has to be run, and it has to produce many things and many products to fill in the warehouse. But in order for the production to run, the production needs raw materials. And who is going to provide the raw materials? It's going to be the suppliers and vendors. And who is going to select the vendors? Most likely it's the supply chain management department who will do the procurement, who will do the vendor selection and evaluation and so on. So when the vendors get a purchase order, they will deliver their products, their raw material. This will pass through quality control. They will be stocked in a raw material warehouse, fed to the production, transformed to products, fed into the warehouse, fed to the shop that the customer is in there. All right. And who designs the product? Possibly an engineer or some other team up here that works with CAD/CAM software, designs the products, creates the bill of materials, performs the costing of the products and adjusts the price, runs the material requirements planning in order to put the design into production, gets some forecast from sales and marketing to understand how much it is produced, and so on. And how about the money that is needed about all this? This money is received by the customers, paid out to the vendors, paid out for salaries and so on, or for other activities. So there is a finance and accounting department here at the heart of the company. And where does our company go? Our company goes where the strategists say it goes. So it's the strategists, possibly engineers with knowledge of strategic management, that set the pace and set the direction of the company. So, my dear friends, this is how an industrial company works. An industrial company is not just the engineering, it's all this. It's the engineering, the production management, the product design, the supply chain management, the sales and marketing, the accounting and finance, the strategic management, um, the knowledge management, the innovation, the analysis of data, and so on. All right? So, by being interested in engineering management, practically you get an invitation to leave this level of very, let's say, focused and very competitive engineer and go to the level of managing these operations. All right? And this is the key difference between engineering management and business management. Why? Because when you have a commercial company, practically the commercial company just has products and sells them, but doesn't really care how all these are produced. So the commercial company practically focuses in here, while the industrial company focuses all here. It is the real thing. It is the end-to-end back office to front office realm of operations. So if you are interested on how to transform raw materials into products that we use every day, engineering management is the discipline. Okay? So here is the answer. Engineering management deals with the entire realm, while business management or banking or whatever else deals only with the front office. And there are so many nice subjects to learn about engineering management, like production, supply, manufacturing, reliability, maintenance, operations, and so on, that do not really exist in a typical business management degree or an MBA or whatever else. Okay? So, having said all this, and this applies not only to industries that produce products, but also to industries that are in the process business, like oil and gas. What do you believe? Do you believe that companies need managers with engineering background? Just cast your opinion. What do you think? I'm taking a sip also of my coffee. So, Aijan, yes, you are very to the spot with the answers, but please elaborate a bit. Okay, of course they need. Why? Why do you think? Feel free to speak your opinion. Is the person that has to know all details of engineering, among other things. You're very correct, Aijan. Thank you. So, in fact, I might say that companies need managers with engineering background like water in Sahara. So imagine being in Sahara and it's so dry and you need something. What you need most? Water. Today, industrial companies, they need engineering managers like water in Sahara. Why? Because they need people with quantitative engineering background. And I say quantitative because maybe you have people from economics background, okay, who could understand and could serve in managerial positions, right? But engineering and technical background very solidly helps. So the companies need such engineers. They need people that understand the technicalities. They know the operations. They know what it takes to produce a product. They know the complexity. They can understand how to set up a production system. But at the same time, they know how to perform the costing of the product or to understand what marketing you need to promote the product. There are so many nice products that have been developed but remain unsold. So companies, they need engineers like that. They need engineers that know how to evaluate technical suppliers. They need engineers that know supply chain management or production management or quality management, which is a quite technical specification. They need engineers that can run projects, they can do efficient project management, or engineers that can do efficient product design, but product design oriented to the market. That's why companies need such type of managers. And one more reason, if I may say, is because you may also uh, have thought of that, it's quite easier to have an engineering background and study managerial concepts rather than the other way around. Can you imagine somebody from business school trying to learn thermodynamics? Could be extremely difficult, all right? So what are actually the skills that the companies look for industrial managers? And that partially answers why are engineering management graduates so welcome in the job market? Why most of our candidates, if not all, have great positions after graduating? They have engineering management skills such as the ones I already mentioned: production management, operations management, supply chain, project, risk, and so on, and general management skills: human resource management, communication, change management or leading changes into organizations, business strategy development, knowledge management, and staff. And of course, the international perspective, that is to think locally but act globally, to understand how it all gets together around the world. So international perspective, like globalization, internationalization, and so on, all this greatly helps in the skills that an engineering management should possess. So where do you find the skills? The answer is very simple, and has been our driver in developing this program, in this curriculum. You find it here at the MEM program. And let's just talk about our curriculum. This is what our students get to learn once they are admitted. So our program is structured in 4 semesters. The first semester is devoted to engineering courses. So there are core courses like advanced applied statistics and probability and research method and ethics. There are MEM core courses like engineering management and engineering economy and project management, and innovative elective courses like knowledge and innovation management. The second semester is fully devoted to graduate school of business courses. Now, watch here. These are all courses that you need to understand and perceive when you operate in an industrial company. You need to know about accounting. Of course, you're not becoming certified public accountants, okay? But you need to know how to read and interpret a balance statement, a balance sheet. You need to know how organizations are managed. You need to know finance and the cost of money and what it takes to finance our operations. You get concepts of marketing, business strategy, entrepreneurship, leading change, and business communication. And then on the third semester, everything is turned back again to the School of Engineering, and we focus on more, let's say, specialized topics like production and service ops, engineering decision tools, supply chain management, system engineering, and big data and information management, or big data and industrial analytics. And on the fourth semester of studies, you select just 2 courses. The one is the product and service development and an elective one. And at the same time, students get to perform the Capstone project, which is a team project that is teams of 3 to 4 people who work in an actual problem of the industry of a company, and they have some time, like 3 months, to carry this out and produce an applied positive result. Okay, and this is great experience. It is an experience that opens the doors for the job market, and our program, in order to secure the success of this endeavor, has established cooperations with very large companies here in Kazakhstan with international, let's say, perspective. Overall, the program lasts 2 years. It is worth 120 ECTS, okay, credit transfer units, and is carried out by an excellent team of people, faculty either core at the program at the MEM, or other faculty from the School of Engineering and Digital Sciences, or faculty from the GSB. Here is just a few of these names. We have a team of over 22 faculty members involved. We have the support of our administration, and at the core of our team is our students. And this is not a sales pitch, actually. It depicts and reflects our mentality. We work as teams because operations and industries go ahead if they have the team mentality, if they have the mentality of uh, exchanging information, of collaborating, of cooperating, of maintaining the knowledge in their team, and so on. All right? So the MEM curriculum is fit for the industry of the future. We constantly evolve, we constantly enrich and adapt our curriculum. We put modern uh, topics, we use modern tools, modern software, and we are very much focused not on theoretical knowledge, but also on practical applications. And there are so many engineering tools that we use, either in the form of operational research tools or statistics or project management information systems or business intelligence and so on. And all these are available in our labs and available for our students to use. So you may wonder if MEM, if engineering management fits with your studies, all right? So before answering that, just drop me a note on what are your studies through the chat box. What is your background? You can use the chat uh, icon um, to type in your background. So Aijan is transport engineering. Great. How about the rest? Liazat, tourism management. Other people? Architecture. Kebir, I think we have already met also in a previous meeting. I'm glad to see you again. So, all right, other people, they are a bit, thank you, Jamal, nice to see you too. Okay, so overall, have this in mind, that if you have an engineering, technological, or quantitative background, that means not strictly, let's say, theoretical, you are you have come most likely to contact with technical aspects of your science. Now, even if you are from the tourist management domain, it's worth trying through the application. But you have to think carefully whether engineering management is what really attracts you. Okay, uh, so it's up to you to evaluate, but it is a bit not so coincident with the background that you are expected to have. Okay, so why MEM is a more successful program over the years? The reason is that we have a good curriculum, we have applied knowledge, we cooperate with the industry, and we are very innovative. Finally, the Capstone project, as I said, is a project that is being carried out at the last semester. It's highly um, applied and serves as a passport to the job market. And this is evidenced actually by the many companies that we cooperate with. Here you see some of them throughout the years, and the academic alliances we have already established and keep on establishing. Right? So there are quite a few things to say more, but I will just stop here and give now the let's say the talk to you. Let's start chatting. I would like to know whether you have any questions about the program, about the admissions process, about details, or so on. And of course, this presentation, along with the slides that we have not shown yet, or we will not show due to limitation of time, all this will be available to you. Okay, so it will be PDF and will be sent to all of you as a reference material. So, first of all, did you find engineering management interesting? Let's start from that. Do you think that EM is interesting as a discipline? Hassan says, yes, it is interesting. Aijan, I could have guessed, let's say, your answer because you have been very active in the chat discussion. Thank you very much. What other people think? Okay, to loosen up, let me tell you the story. I started this presentation. Thank you, Kabir. Thank you very much. I started this presentation by saying that I am a robotics engineer, A to Z. Okay. So back in my time, engineering was pretty much in boxes. So you either studied electrical or mechanical or chemical or let's say naval engineering and so on. All right. And it was at that time that computers started coming into the life. Okay. And but still companies were quite local. There were not really huge international global companies. Okay. But as the time passed, you could see that companies, they needed much more skills and many more, let's say, skills and much more expertise than just engineering. I'm not trying to minimize engineering. I love engineering practically, okay? Uh, but when it came to managing an industrial company, it was very evident that the industry needed people with technical background because these people could understand the operations. And people coming from a business school, they did not have the skills. So that generated actually the interest for engineering management. So back in 1995, I was a very happy, very proud robotics engineer. I joined a department which was called Production Management and Engineering. And I was so fond in robotics, I was doing very nice applications with robot vision and so on. And then I met with some other faculty and they said, okay, Dimitris, you're doing some really nice things, but tell us, what is the cost of this product that you are producing with the robot? I said, I don't know. And who's going to give you the materials? I said, I really don't know. I mean, somebody's going to give. And how do you evaluate your suppliers? I said, gee, I don't know. And how are you going to market the product? I said, I don't know. But do you apply any quality control into your product? Not really. And how about your customer support? I haven't thought of that. So actually it was striking because there was this realm of questions and all these things that happen in the real industry that myself as an engineer didn't even think about them, didn't even know that they existed. I was so, let's say, attached to my robots that I did not even break the shell and look outside, all right? And after that, I was fascinated with industrial management. I was fascinated about elevating the engineering perspective that I had into making it work for an industry and produce products and look at it horizontally, end to end, from the raw material up to the final customer. That's why it is very interesting. Okay, simply said, from my perspective. So, guys, questions. Please put your questions. Okay, Daniel, thanks for your question. The responsible who is going to answer about scholarships is Mrs. Aida Sultanali. She's right now with us in the meeting, and she's going to answer to you regarding that.
Daniel, hi. My name is Aida. I'm manager for admission process here at School of Engineering and Digital Science. So yeah, there are state grants, usually from Ministry of Finance. Then we have like internal grants of Nazarbayev University. We call it like for international students, Abay Kunambayev, Abrail Tansarin. Also, we have these special discounts for from 50% till 90%. So all this information you can find in our website. Let me send you the link. Wait a minute, just I'll send you. So you should go. Let me share the screen with you. Where is my? So let me share the screen with you. So this is our the main page of any Nazarbayev University. You should go to admissions here and funding opportunities. So you should click here. So here all the information about funding. So yeah, just read there, and if you have any questions, just let us know about it. This is for all programs, for bachelor, for masters, for PhD, everything. So you should go to main page, admissions, and the funding opportunities. Also, you can ask our Bursars office. You can write the email so they can properly answer you for your more detailed questions. Bursars office.nu edu.kz. I'll write to this chat box. Let me note here.
Okay, so it's Bursars office, NU EDU KZ.
Yes.
All right. We have another two questions. Liazat, I'll answer to this question as well. So first of all, Liazat's question says that is interested in MEM. It's more connected with all departments. Two questions. After graduations of any MEM, in what positions can we work? And should we continue to study MBA if we have MEM diploma? Okay, so first question. When you graduate from MEM, there are many positions in industrial companies that you can work at. Okay, so you can either work either as, let's say, project managers, you can work as production managers, you can work in the design of business process and improvement, you can work in supply chain management to deal, let's say, with suppliers, with forecasting, with scheduling, with let's say supplier evaluation, with warehouse management, fleet management, capacity planning, and so on. So there are so many aspects in engineering companies that are needed. Okay. Now, remember that MEM is not a strictly engineering degree. So, for example, if you work on, let's say, on an industrial company, uh, if you work in an industrial company, will you give me a second because somebody stepped in my office? I'm very sorry. All right, never mind. We'll continue. So there are many companies in the industrial context that you can work at. All right, very interesting indeed. Many of our graduates work in such companies. For example, we have graduates that work in Erastana. They work in the forecasting and supply chain management. Or we have people working at Kazakhstan Azelsan or KTG or other companies. Most of them work in scheduling and forecasting and such type of operations. All right. So there are plenty of positions that you can have. Now, whether you should continue to study MBA if you have an MEM diploma, it's up to you. Although I think that MEM, I would consider it like an applied industrial MBA. All right. Now, Kabir, your question is MEM graduates highly sought after. Could you please give examples as to which companies? I already mentioned some of them. I would say that in all the companies that I showed the logo earlier in my presentation, like Beeline, KZ Systems, Kazakhstan, Azelsan, Erastana, KTG, Kazmunai Gas, and so on, we have people in there. Okay. Is it possible to have internship in company during study? As the regulation stands right now, you mean internship to carry out your capstone project? This is something we plan to do. However, in the company that you work, or use this company as the test bed for your capstone projects. Okay. Other questions? Liazad is currently working in Kazakhstan Caspian offshore industries. Fantastic. So, Liazad, more likely you are also interested in the digitization of industrial companies and in the oil and gas sector. Okay, we are starting a cooperation in this domain. So, is that clear enough what I said? I just explained? Do we have other questions? Okay. If we don't have other questions, I mean, if we have, I would be happy to. Okay, Aijan, you mentioned local companies where we can work after graduation. So can we work in foreign countries? Um, Aida, I think you have to answer this question. I guess that some limitations apply in terms of your stipend. This is something that Aida will answer. What I can assure you from my part, Aijan, is that the knowledge you get here is 100% international. So all the concepts are international best practice, so you can apply them easily in any other foreign country.
Yeah, I'm totally agree with Professor. So, Aijan, you can easily work in foreign companies because lots of our alumni nowadays working abroad, um, also in the USA, in Europe, in Arabian countries, especially in oil and gas sector. So it is, yeah, it's up to persons that if you are going to apply and you will show your ability there, so you can easily work without diploma. So it works. I think there is no any problem here because we have like good experience and good examples of our alumni graduate students. Yeah, so.
If I'm allowed to say just a bit of a very quite technical, let's say, thing, as an example, I teach myself project management, all right? So one of the topics in project management is called earned value management, and it is used to track the temporal and financial and physical project progress in a project. Now, the techniques, for example, that we use in this section are what are called global standards. That means that they have been accepted globally, internationally, around the world as the standard for tracking progress in projects. And this is something we teach here. Not only that, I mean, in all aspects of all courses, there are best practice, international best practice. So it's not local knowledge that you get international knowledge. So you can apply it everywhere you want. Nobody is going to tell you when and if you go to another country, oh, what is this thing that you learned? This is applicable only in Kazakhstan. No, this is something that is international. And the faculty, as you have seen, is all international faculty, okay, with experience all around the world. Do you have other questions? Okay, in case we do not have other questions, I thank you very, very much for your interest, and it was nice having you with in this webinar session. I really appreciate your time and your interest. Now it's up to you to make the move, submit your applications, and so on. One thing to know is that we treat every candidate fairly. We treat every candidate fairly. We are part of the typical, let's say, requirements. There is an interview with a group of professors. So we're giving equal opportunity to all of you to enroll to the program. We try to attract students who are highly interested and you know, all the best of luck to you. Okay, so have a good day. Thank you very much. Kabir, you can address your question directly now to SCDS admissions, and everybody can address these questions, and you can have your answers. Okay, so guys, thank you very much. Thank you. Have a good day. Bye bye.